Also, can I just say, look at how freaking cute my corset belt is. This was like 155 pesos only. If you guys are interested, I have the Lazada link in the description box. What's up, you guys? It's Max, and the long-awaited, most requested video of crystals and meditation is finally here. I took some time to do some research on it and make sure I am providing you with information that does have sources and facts backing it up, because I want to make sure I'm providing you with the correct information. So it did take me a while to get to this video, but we are here. No worries. Keeping with the traditions of our main videos now, though, I am of course going to start off this particular video with an affirmation of the week card. And the card that I pulled for you guys earlier is "My vibes speak louder than my words." This one sounds particularly hippy-dippy. Vibes. The energy that you radiate from yourself says a lot about you than the things that you say about yourself. So you can tell people that you're kind, but if your vibration and your energy radiates meanness and cruelty, then of course people are not going to feel right being around you, because people absorb each other's energies. And if you're not in a good energy space, you gotta be careful with that. If that makes any sense for you guys. But yes, take this however way you want to take it, however way it applies to you. And if it doesn't apply to you at all, that's fine. You can leave it at that. Crystals and meditation. This is a whole thing that I have jumped on because I find that it helps me with my mental health as well as my emotional health as well. It to me has become a sense of comfort and something I can turn to, and I'm happy that a lot of you guys are interested enough to ask me to share it with you all. So before I get into what crystals are and what meditation actually is, I want to break it down for you guys in the simplest way I can. This is where my research comes in. The main takeaway from all of this is that everything is made up of energy. Right down to the core, we are all made up of energy. Humans, plants, animals, living things all emit energy. We are all, right down to the core, made up of energy. And this is something that involves quantum physics. It's a lot to take in, but all of my references are linked in the description box as well, so you can do your own research. Our human bodies are composed of energy-producing particles that move against each other and vibrate at a very high frequency. So as these particles vibrate and create frequencies, different levels of frequency produce different kinds of things. For example, a certain level of frequency can produce sound, and a different level of frequency that may be higher can produce electricity that gives us light. I almost failed my physics class in high school, and I did not do so well in college either, so please bear with me. I'm trying to simplify this the best way I can. So because these frequencies produce energy, then that is what makes up everything else around us. Everything else vibrates at a certain frequency and right down to the core produces energy. Now, since everything is made of energy, that is exactly how these vibrations interact with each other. Energy interacts with energy. My energy, when I'm around you, could interact with your energy. Just some additional info from Editing Max. It's kind of like when you're in a room with a group of friends and then another friend walks in and then suddenly it feels gloomy and you can tell that they're not in a good mood. When you feel their energy and then suddenly you're not in the mood anymore either, that is energy interacting with energy. So when these frequencies and vibrations interact with each other, that is exactly how these energies can benefit from each other, because they're interacting with each other. Oh god. Research references down in the description box, please. For all I know, I could be explaining this the wrong way because I understood it the wrong way, so just description box. So now that we know the basics of this whole thing, where do crystals come in? Remember how I said that when we are in the presence of another energy, our energies interact with that energy? Crystals also hold energy. And so when you are in the presence of a crystal and maybe even holding a crystal, the crystal's energy will interact with your energy. And with that, you will benefit from the energy of the crystal. Since crystals are healing stones, which means their energies are known to heal people, what it does is that its energy actually flows through your body. It goes through your body and takes away anything toxic, any toxic energy, any negative energy that could be doing you some type of harm. So there are so many different crystals available to all of us. I believe over 1,000. But there are 3 that to me I find are beginner level crystals. Each crystal has different properties in it, which leads to each crystal having different uses and different benefits. But the 3 crystals that I feel like are pretty good beginner crystals are amethyst, selenite, and rose quartz. So the amethyst is a calming and grounding crystal. It's very well known for its anti-anxiety uses, and people usually use it to relax or meditate on it to be able to kind of calm down and then fall asleep. I in particular feel like I have an affinity with the amethyst, mainly because I've seen it pop up so many times throughout my lifetime. And me having an anxiety disorder, I find a lot of comfort meditating with the amethyst because something about it calms me down. Something about it, again, grounds me because it's a grounding crystal. It was actually the first ever crystal I got so obsessed with that I started collecting crystals. Also, when I say that an amethyst is a grounding crystal, that basically means that it can help regulate the energies of your crystals. Because there are crystals that vibrate at a very high frequency, which means it has a very strong energy. You put an amethyst with it, and that amethyst will kind of help balance it out. Next is the selenite. This is one of my favorites because it is a protective crystal and a cleansing crystal. It's also very powerful on the spiritual side of things, but I use it mainly for cleansing and protecting. Protecting in the sense of any psychic negativity, which means, you know, ghosts and anything negative or malevolent. Selenite is what people use to surround themselves and protect themselves. In fact, it's so well known for its protective properties that people actually buy selenite towers and put them in the corners of their room because that creates a shield around your room. In terms of cleansing, the selenite crystal can actually be used to cleanse your jewelry or any item, I believe, and your crystals of any negative energy. If you guys don't already know, crystals need to be cleansed at least once every 2 weeks. Because since your crystals carry energy and heal with their energy, how they heal is they absorb any negative energy that comes with them. So for you to do away with the negative energy that your crystal might have picked up and kept in its body, you do have to cleanse your crystal. And there are many different ways to do these. You can put them under sunlight, you can run them through water, you can bury them in soil for a week, you can cleanse them with smoke cleansing with incense. There's so many more things that go into that. I can make a whole separate video on this. But when you have a selenite, you can actually use that selenite to cleanse other crystals because selenite doesn't need cleansing. Selenite only needs to be charged, so it cleanses other crystals. If you have a small selenite crystal, what you can do is you can put the crystal that you need to cleanse with your selenite crystal and wrap it in some kind of cloth, whatever you can use to bind them together. You can even put them in a small bag together and then just leave them there together, and the selenite will do its thing and cleanse the crystal that needs to be cleansed. People also sell selenite plates. So it's exactly what it is. It's a plate made out of the selenite crystal, and you can just put your crystal on top of the selenite, leave it there overnight, and the selenite will cleanse your crystals. Selenite sticks and selenite wands exist. You guys will see this in my vlog episode 2. But it's basically a long stick made up of selenite crystal, and people use this, I also use this, to cleanse my aura. Because it's a cleansing stick, you can also use it to cleanse your aura. For example, on a day where you're so stressed and tired, and maybe even on a day where you're anxious or just feeling negative emotions, you get your selenite stick or your selenite wand and you just run it over yourself where your aura would be. And that selenite stick will absorb any negative energy that you might be emitting from having a bad day. If there's one stone that I would probably hoard, it would be selenite because I love being protected. No evil spirits for me, please. The last crystal might be the most popular one, which is the rose quartz. The rose quartz is known as the love stone. It's the crystal that brings in love. But people usually know it as the kind of crystal that can help propel you into a romantic kind of love. What people don't usually know is that rose quartz is for love in general. So it doesn't even need to be for you to get your significant other or for you to find your significant other, but it can also be there to help you generate your own sense of self-love for yourself, self-confidence, even love, familial love. It can help you emit that kind of loving energy for whoever you feel like may need it. Though I highly suggest that you get the rose quartz purely for self-love, because as Mama Ru says, if you don't love yourself, how in the hell can you love somebody else? So make sure when you get the rose quartz that it's for you first, and then you can use it to find someone to be your significant other, if that is what you want. Let's say you have your first crystal. How do you start working with them? I believe the most basic way for you to directly work with your crystals is with meditation. Meditating with crystals has a lot to do with visualization. But before we get into that, I do want to break down how meditation is in general at first, without any crystals with you or anything, any other accessories, just so that you have the foundation of what meditation is in case you are not someone who is well versed in meditating. A lot of people think that meditating means completely shutting down your thoughts, silencing your mind all the way through and not thinking of anything for a long time. That is not the case. Meditation is actually a practice of focusing your thoughts and your mind on the sound of your breathing. And if any thoughts come up, be it negative or positive or regular thoughts, it is also the practice of not interacting with those thoughts. So for example, when I meditate, I make sure that I can breathe loud enough for me to hear my own breathing. So it's all a matter of taking in a really deep, really loud breath, inhale, and then letting it out, exhale through your mouth. Now, because you're creating that sound with your breathing, you can easily point your thoughts or your attention to that sound. It's like when you're listening to music while you're doing something. You can do that thing on autopilot while intently listening to the music, right? It's like that, except instead of focusing on your thoughts when you're thinking, you focus on the sound of your breathing. Then let's say a thought comes up, like, I don't know, oh my god, I have work in the morning and I have to wake up early. Don't think about it. It's okay that it came up. It's alright that you had a thought. This is the perfect time for you to practice not interacting with it, which means you don't have to think about that thought that came up. Oh my god, I have work in the morning. I have to wake up early. What do I need to do first? I have to make sure that my breakfast is ready for tomorrow. Don't think about it. Just leave it as is. That I have work tomorrow. I have to wake up early for it. That's it. Don't interact with that thought. Don't think about it any longer. Don't spend any more time on that thought. Once that thought comes up, acknowledge it, refocus your attention on your breathing. That's basically what meditation is. And then if you get a little better at it, you can start scanning your body, which means while you're meditating, you can start trying to feel the top of your head, have your focus scan down to the side, all the way down, and stuff like that. You can do stuff like that. But throwing crystals into the mix, this is where the power of visualization comes in. Visualization is a very big part of manifesting. If you guys don't know that, when you manifest, it's all about visualizing what you're trying to manifest, visualizing what it would feel like when you have it, right? It's the same deal with meditating with a crystal. When you meditate with a crystal, hold it in your left hand. And this was a piece of advice that was given to me by my eldest sister. She's actually a Reiki master, so thank you, Alex. But you hold the crystal on your left hand, and this is because your left hand is the most sensitive to energy, because it's the closest to your heart chakra, which is in the middle of your chest. So you hold it in your left hand, begin to meditate. Close your eyes, visualize that crystal glowing in its own energy. Visualize that light that is going from the crystal going through your entire body. So when I meditate and I do that visualization technique, I imagine that energy, that light and energy trailing through my hands, through to my chest, through to my other hand, and back up my head and all the way down to my feet. And then once I finished visualizing all of that energy spreading throughout my body, I visualize myself glowing in that crystal's energy. And because visualization is such a powerful thing, as you visualize this is short to say basically what is happening with the energy of the crystal as you visualize it. If you visualize yourself glowing with the crystal's energy and visualize yourself absorbing the crystal's energy, then that is exactly what is happening in that moment. You are interacting with the crystal, its light and its energy, you are absorbing it, and you are glowing with it. Once you're done with your meditation, try and observe how you feel. If you meditate with an amethyst, do you suddenly feel sleepy? If you meditate with an angel aura quartz, do you suddenly feel happy? Do you suddenly feel some kind of joy? Compare it to how you felt before you were meditating. That's the best way for you to track how you interacted with your crystal. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's really hard to pick up on the crystal's energy. I don't even think I'm able to do it fully yet. If all else fails, like placebo effect, you meditate with a crystal, there's nothing to lose. You know, there's nothing to lose. And if anything, meditation itself is a tried and proven practice that really helps people with their mental health. So at least you'll get that out of it. But working with crystals does take some patience. You shouldn't expect to immediately feel the energy of the crystal. It takes time to warm up to it and for you to actually become sensitive to it. So just be patient with it. Above everything else, trust that your crystal is alive, given that you of course bought it from the right source. But trust that your crystal is alive, trust that it is interacting with your energy, and trust that it is doing its best to heal yourself. Do not doubt your crystals. That is basically the basics of crystals and meditation for me. If you guys want to go farther deep into it, there's so much research and so many references and people out there on the internet who provide free advice and maybe even tutorials on how you can up your meditation game. But I will leave that to you guys. But if you do want to learn the deeper aspects of how it works and stuff like that and everything we talked about in this video, again, I have cited all of my research reference in the description box so you guys can check that out. It's a little complicated and honestly it was very hard for me to explain, but I hope it provided you some kind of information. For this week's comment spotlight, I actually only have one comment to show you guys from Dennis R. Taxia. Thank God for this kind of content as it lifts up people like me who's currently experiencing some adulting struggles. You're right, we can feel defeated at times, but we'll just have to get back up and continue. You're such a blessing to others. Hope you know that. Looking forward on your next vid. Stay safe from a fan. Thank you so much, Dennis. I'm really glad I was able to help you out. If anything, that I was able to give you some kind of content to relate to and to learn from, or even just to remind you to always get back up whenever you fail, because sometimes getting back up is hard and sometimes we need the reminder. So yeah, thank you for your comment. It is deeply, deeply appreciated, and I hope you enjoy my future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to try being on my comment spotlight for the next main video, send me a comment on what you picked up from this video, if there's anything of value that you want to point out, or you know, anything you want to tell me, just comment down below and I might choose you for the next comment spotlight. If you guys really want to go all in and support me, I also have a Ko-fi page where you guys can donate some money to me. This money will be sent towards maybe paying my bills, and I'm also trying to save up for a new camera because my camera is currently dying. So any form of help would be appreciated, but of course not really needed. No pressure on that. I love you guys. I hope this crystals and meditation video gave you guys the basics and the information that you were looking for and asking for from me. And if there's anything else related to this video that you guys want me to make a video on, like manifestation, let me know. As usual, thank you for staying with me throughout this entire video. I really appreciate it if you made it to the end of this. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye!